Those who don't know, I sold my last business about 11 years ago. It was a health and sort of fitness business in Chapel Street in Melbourne. And one of the main catalysts for selling was, as much as I love my clients, and a lot of the clients friends of mine on Facebook, one of the main reasons for selling the business was many people were saying one thing but acting in a totally different way. And the nature of this conversation today, you know, is why do we repeatedly do the things that we wish we didn't? So firstly, you know, to you guys that are watching, hey Demelza, hey Cam, you guys that are watching, you know, if we just go sort of high level, you know, what are some of those things that we do that we wish we didn't? You know, what do we notice within ourselves? What do we notice with our friends, our family, our colleagues? You know, it could be anything from, you know, smoking to drinking to drugs, to overeating, to sitting on the couch, to watching a lot of TV, to doing a lot of social, to doing absolutely anything repeatedly, even though we consciously want to be doing something totally different. So why does this happen? I think you guys, why do you think that it's happened? Why do you think that it happens? Why do we notice it so much? You know, why is it that, you know, with all the wealth of knowledge that's going on around us, why is mental health, you know, for example, on a progressive downward decline? You know, why is it with a vast amount of knowledge and supposed high quality food, are we finding ourselves in the midst of a real epidemic when it comes to obesity and all those sorts of things? You know, it's super important to become really conscious around this. So I'm going to give you my take on why we repeatedly do the things that we wish we didn't. And I'm not sure whether it was Viktor Frankl or actually it may have even been Adolf Hitler. I did share this video on my business page. But give me the child until he is 7 years of age. Give me the child until he is 7 years of age, and I'll show you the man, or I'll show you the woman. So inherently, what I am trying to say there is, why is it that we repeatedly do the things we wish we didn't? Okay, is that we are basically being in the now our past self. So these are all learnt subconscious habits or subconscious patterns that started at a very long time ago. Okay, so you know, it's almost like our life really is based on no longer being our old self. We almost need to reinvent ourselves. And you know, by saying that, how do we go about doing that? There's two ways in which we can do that. Firstly, we can do it consciously, but shit, it takes a fucking lot of work. So what I mean, you know, your conscious, prefrontal, creative mind, okay, consciously knows what we want to do. That's part of that first part of this statement that leads into this title of this video. The second part is the unconscious part. It's the part of our thinking that's often out of our awareness. What we need to do, we need to go through the process of upgrading almost that subconscious, that unconscious mind of ours. Because if we don't, if we still live today based on patterns in the past, okay, you will do one or two things. We will do one or two things. Okay, actually, no, we'll do one thing. All leads to self-sabotage. So we will self-sabotage relationships, we will self-sabotage our finances, we will self-sabotage our health, we will self-sabotage our well-being. All these sorts of things will lead to self-sabotage, because I am not saying that during the first 7 years of life or the first 8 years of life that we experience trauma. But what we have experienced is a series of maybe small events that we label as a young person, as a young child, right, as something other than who we truly are, that's truly magnificent, truly whole. So it's almost a pact, almost a line in the sand that we need to make with ourselves to become very self-aware. We need to become very self-aware on how we feel about ourselves. We need to become very self-aware on our belief systems. We need to become very self-aware on those things that are preventing us. Okay, now as I said, how do you go about, you know, updating this software program of the mind? Okay, you can do it consciously. I listened to a YouTube clip this morning. You know, doing things consciously takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of willpower. Yes, it will get a result, but shit, it takes a long time. Okay, so my mentor this morning said, you know, one of the keys to making millions, not that I'm concerned about making millions, was doing things for not 30 days, not 60 days, but 90 days. And that's all well and good, okay? You know, that is tied into an identity, right? So we are what we repeatedly do, and that's our identity, right? So that's one way, consciously, right? But that often leads to stress, and that often leads to overwhelm. So when we look at the most important part, the part that's often overlooked is part of the subconscious patterning. It's part of the subconscious program. And how do we go about doing that? Well, there are many modalities in which you can update this program to allow you to be that very best version of yourself, both physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, okay? What we need to do as a society right now, Lane, Marcus, Andy, we've got about 6 or 7 guys listening. You know many people, and I know many people that are doing things with themselves or with other people that they wish they didn't because they feel unsafe at the unconscious level. It sounds a bit harsh, but they simply feel unsafe. What we need to do, we need to take someone from feeling unsafe to someone feeling safe. Okay, I only really share these videos when I feel like there's something to share, and I had a really in-depth conversation with a client of mine. The session ended up going for 2 hours today, and my intention was to make this person feel as safe as possible, as quick as possible. Now, there are many modalities, as I said, that you can use to create this shift. Okay, you can go about. So if Renee, I'm not sure if Renee Cat is actually on this. Renee is a colleague of mine. She has an amazing technique known as TRTP. It's called the trauma release technique. But don't necessarily worry about the word trauma. It could be very minor, but it could be something that we label as a child at a very young age that has led to self-sabotage in the here and now. Okay, so there's things like TRTP, Psych K, which is what I'm trained in, hypnosis, which is what I'm trained in. There is memory-based Gestalt therapy, there's NLP. There are so many different little mind hacks that you can take on board to help speed this reprogram of the subconscious mind. I feel if we don't make this decision, if we don't draw a line in the sand and as a collective consciousness, go within and start to look at how we can go about updating this program, I am very scared, well, not necessarily scared, but concerned about the life that our children will be living, you know, in 10, 20, 30 or 40 years. And I always say, you know, when we go about this process of change or evolving, I believe life's all about personal growth. We're here to grow, and most importantly, we're here to have an impact on as many people that we love and care about. So if you don't, you know, when you have this conversation, hopefully this video is just a conversation starter. There's so much that I could talk about to do this context while we repeatedly do the things that we wish we didn't do, right? But you've got to think about the greater cause. If there are things that you can't find love from, if there are things that are still pushing your hot buttons, if people are pressing you, we call them those little pain points. Okay, if there are things in your past that you can't give thanks and love to, they still fucking own you. You know, they still own you. If you're brought into stress, negativity, sadness, depression, despair, if you're brought into fear, anger, hate, all these sorts of things, if you're pointing the finger, okay, that is nothing more than unresolved negativity left in the past, still trapped in the past. And it's our decision, you know, that we first need to make to find value in all of that. And when we find value in it, we can turn the pain into pleasure. And then we can move beyond self-sabotage, right? So self-sabotage through food, for example, food is generally comforting an emotion. Cigarettes, drugs, anger, abuse, you know, some form of punishment, whether it's self or it's someone else, is all form of basically making you feel comfortable, fulfilling an unconscious need. We have to go about finding value, you know, finding comfort in things that are actually good for us, not for those things that actually hurt us physically, mentally, and emotionally. But firstly, we've got to decide as a society, you know, to really shift that onus, that responsibility back onto us. Okay, when you find value in your past, when you move beyond past experience, okay, then you have the capacity to influence. You have the true capacity to influence your teams. You have the true capacity to influence the people you care about. You have the true capacity to influence your own health, well-being, you know, all those things that are really important to your life. So if anything, if the worst thing from this video, it allows you to have a conversation with yourself or a conversation with your loved ones and ask yourself, how are you showing up? Okay, I truly hope this serves as some way of raising your own personal standards. okay? This is not some way I'm selling my coaching programs. It's generally the people that are actually watching this, the people I care about. You know, Demels, all the guys at Ocean Grove, guys in Melbourne. You know me, you know, and the people that I work with. You know how I present at the footy clubs and with Surf Lifesaving with Nippers. You know, I just generally care about people. I generally care about you. I care about all the companies and all the clients that I work with. So I hope this video finds you well. If you find it valuable, please share it. If there are any topics that you really want to explore, let's just have a chat. Like, I think Facebook and all that sort of stuff is filled with a lot of bullshit. I think we need stuff that's authentic. We need stuff that's going to help shift how we think and feel and improve our sense of self and raise our standards physically, mentally, emotionally. Hope you're all well. Hey Haley, hey Mark. Who else we got here? Demelza. Who else? I can't even say. I can't see everyone. Anyway, love you all, guys. Take care, and I will hopefully maybe even put another video up tomorrow. Please share, give a thumbs up, and share it on your page. Thanks, guys. Bye.